Hey everyone. Ever wish you could just pick Warren Buffett's brain? Especially when it comes to investing, even if you don't have a ton of cash to start with.
Yeah, it's like he's got this investing magic touch.
Well, get this. Today we're diving deep into his actual advice on how to invest even tiny sums of money.
No way. What are we looking at?
An article straight from the source. It's called Warren Buffett: 6 Ways to Invest Tiny Sums of Money.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the first gem?
Well, you know that whole start early thing everyone keeps saying?
Oh, yeah, definitely. But to be honest, it always sounds a bit like easier said than done, you know?
Right. Like, how much of a difference can it really make if you're not exactly swimming in cash?
Exactly.
Well, this is where Buffett drops his famous snowball analogy, and it kind of blew my mind.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Lay it on me.
So picture this, right? You invest just $100 today. Not a crazy amount. Anyone can probably swing that.
Okay, I'm following.
Now, let's say you get a decent return on that, like 7% a year.
Not too shabby.
Right. Well, hold on tight, because after 30 years, that little $100 could balloon to over $760.
Whoa. Seriously?
That's the power of compound interest. Your money is basically making babies that make more money babies.
Okay, that's actually a really good way to put it.
And starting early means those little money babies have more time to, multiply.
So even if you're starting with, like, lunch money instead of a fortune,
Yeah,
it can still add up big time over time.
that's the gist. But here's another thing I didn't expect. Starting small can actually make you a more chill investor.
Oh, how so?
Well, when the market takes a dip, you're not as exposed, so you don't freak out as much.
Yeah, you can ride out the storm a little easier.
It's like starting small gives you more room to learn and not make, panic moves.
That makes a ton of sense. So, okay, we're starting early, even with just a little bit. But the million-dollar question is, where do we actually put it?
That's where Buffett's bargain hunting strategy comes in. He's all about this thing called value investing.
Okay, value investing, break that down for me.
Imagine you're at a thrift store, right? And you find this amazing designer dress totally hidden among the, questionable stuff.
Gotcha.
Value investing is kind of like that. You're spotting those companies that the market is meh on right now, but you see their true potential. Their inner designer dress.
So you're looking for those hidden treasures, the ones with solid bones, even if they're not all glamorous on the surface yet.
Exactly. Buffett's always saying to look for businesses that are selling at a discount and hold them for the long term.
He's not messing around with those quick flips, huh?
Nope, he's in it for the long haul. But get this. This is where it gets super interesting.
I love the super interesting parts.
Buffett actually says that his biggest wins came from back in the day when he was investing small amounts in these, lesser-known companies.
Really? That's kind of wild. I mean, you'd think his huge deals would be the most profitable.
Right. But think about it. It's like getting in on Amazon when it was just that online bookstore.
Before it became, well, everything.
Exactly. Smaller companies can have this crazy growth potential.
They can move faster, take more risks.
Yeah, exactly. They're like the speedboats of the investing world.
So how do we, us regular folks, spot these speedboats before they, blast off?
Well, this is where Buffett's emphasis on hard work comes in. He's always saying investing isn't about luck.
It's about doing your homework, right?
You got it. Reading those financial reports, wrapping your head around what a company actually does, and checking out their leadership.
They're basically playing financial detective, right? Looking for clues.
Totally. And luckily, these days, we have so many tools to help us.
You mean like websites, apps, and stuff?
Yep. You can find all sorts of info to help you break down those financial reports without needing a degree in, Wall Street jargon.
That's a relief. But, okay, let's be real for a second. One of the scariest things about investing is the fear of, messing up.
Oh, yeah, losing your hard-earned money. That's terrifying.
Especially when you see those headlines about the market going up and down like crazy.
Makes you want to just bury your cash in the backyard, right?
Pretty much. So how do we stay calm when things get rocky?
That's where Buffett's wisdom on tuning out the daily drama comes in.
Okay, so ignore the roller coaster and focus on the destination.
Exactly. Imagine you've picked this super sturdy ship for a long voyage.
Okay, I'm with you.
You trust the captain, you know the course is good, but you're bound to hit some rough seas along the way.
That's a great analogy.
Those waves, those are like the daily market ups and downs. They're just noise. If your ship, your investment, is solid underneath.
So it's all about trusting your choices and not letting fear make you jump ship at the first sign of a little wind.
You got it. And Buffett's got this great quote about this. He says, and I quote, If you're going to do dumb things because your stock goes down, then you shouldn't own stock at all.
Ouch, that's kind of harsh, but I get his point.
It's a good reality check, you know? Investing is a marathon, not a sprint.
And sometimes you just need someone to remind you to pace yourself.
Right. Absolutely. That's why having a mentor or even just a friend who gets investing can be so helpful.
Someone to celebrate the wins with and, talk you off the ledge when you see a big wave coming.
Totally. And speaking of needing a little support, Buffett's super clear that successful investing isn't about luck.
It's about putting in the work, right?
Yeah.
Like he actually said, and I quote, "There's too much chasing easy money."
Exactly. He and his business partner, Charlie Munger, are all about doing your due diligence, really understanding what you're putting your money into.
So it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's more like building a house brick by brick.
That's a perfect analogy. It's about creating something solid and lasting, not gambling on the next big thing.
Okay, I'm starting to feel like I can actually build this house. But before we get too carried away, we got to talk about diversification.
Ah, yes, the classic, don't put all your eggs in one basket advice.
Right. But Buffett doesn't just blindly diversify. He's all about what he calls focused diversification.
Hold on, focused diversification. What's that all about?
Well, he actually said, and I quote, "Diversification is a protection against ignorance. It makes very little sense for those who know what they're doing."
Whoa. Okay, so he's saying if you've really done your homework, spreading yourself too thin might not be the best move.
Right. He sees diversification as a safety net, like in case you miss something in your research.
So you're covered if one of your picks doesn't pan out as expected.
Exactly. But if you've really done your due diligence and believe in your choices, it can make more sense to focus your resources on those high-conviction investments.
So it's like instead of having a tiny slice of every pie, you have a good chunk of the ones you really believe in.
It's about taking calculated risks, not just throwing darts at a board,
I like that. It feels less random and more like I'm actually in control.
You are. And remember, even Warren Buffett started with a small amount and a handful of carefully chosen investments.
His story's pretty amazing, and it proves you don't need to be some Wall Street hotshot to succeed.
You just need to be smart and patient.
Okay, so we've talked about starting early, value investing, those hidden gem companies, riding out market dips, doing your research, and now focused diversification.
Wow, we covered a lot. I'm feeling way more informed already.
Me too. It's like we've gotten a sneak peek into Buffett's brain.
We have. And honestly, it's making me feel a lot less intimidated by this whole investing thing.
Me too. But we're just getting started. When we come back, we'll dig even deeper into all this and talk about how you, the listener, can put it all into action.
Yes. Stay tuned for more Buffett brilliance.
Welcome back. So all this Buffett wisdom is great, but how do we actually, put it into practice?
Right. It's easy to get kind of lost in the theory.
Exactly. Where do you even begin if you're not some Wall Street hotshot with millions to throw around?
That's what I love about Buffett's approach. It's like
Yeah.
he's demystifying investing for the rest of us,
Makes it feel way less intimidating.
Totally. Remember how the article was about investing tiny sums?
Oh, yeah, like regular people money.
Exactly. It's
Yeah.
about becoming a smart owner, even on a smaller scale.
Okay, so let's say I'm ready to dip my toes in. Where's a good place to start?
Have you ever heard of index funds?
Daily.
They're kind of like, think of it like a pre-made basket of stocks.
Okay, instead of picking individual stocks, I'm buying a whole bunch at once.
Right. And they usually track a specific part of the market, like, say, the S&P 500.
That's the one with all the big companies, right?
Yep. And here's the cool part. It ties right back into that focused diversification thing we talked about.
Ah, I see. So I'm spreading my risk, but not going crazy trying to pick every single stock.
Exactly. And index funds are usually way cheaper to invest in than those fancy actively managed ones.
Score. Less fees for us. Okay, index funds, got it. But what about those hidden gem companies Buffett talked about? How do I even find those?
This is where that work Buffett emphasizes comes in. It's time to channel your inner financial detective.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. So we're talking researching companies, digging into their financials.
You got it. Reading those reports, getting a feel for what the company actually does, checking out their leadership team.
So we're not just blindly picking companies. It's about informed decision-making.
Precisely. And guess what? We have so many resources at our fingertips these days.
You mean websites and stuff?
Yep. Websites, apps, financial news sources, it's all out there to help you understand those companies without needing a finance degree.
Okay, that makes me feel a lot better. But let's be honest, the scariest thing about investing is, like, the fear of losing everything.
Oh, yeah, that's totally normal.
Especially when you see the market going crazy. How do you not freak out when your investments are, like, on a roller coaster?
Well, first of all, remember, volatility is just part of the game. It's like the ocean. There will always be waves.
Right. Back to the sturdy ship analogy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The key is to ride those waves, not jump ship every time things get a little choppy.
So easier said than done, right?
Definitely takes practice. Here's a little trick I use. When you feel that panic rising, try zooming out.
Zooming out. Like, literally.
Haha, no. I mean, shift your focus away from the daily or even hourly ups and downs. Look at the big picture, the long-term horizon.
So if I've done my research and believe in the company, those little dips are just blips on the radar.
You got it. It's like you're on this journey and you're going to hit some bumps, but the destination is what matters.
I like that. It's all about keeping your eyes on the prize.
Exactly. And this is where having a mentor or even just a friend who gets investing can be a lifesaver.
Oh, yeah. Someone to celebrate with when things are good and, like, talk you down when you're freaking out.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need that outside perspective. Speaking of which, remember Buffett's big on doing your own research.
Oh, yeah. He hates those get-rich-quick schemes.
He said it best. There's too much chasing easy money. It's so important to be critical of all the financial info out there.
So, like, how do you spot the BS? What are some red flags to watch out for?
If someone's promising you guaranteed returns or like crazy fast profits, run.
Got it. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
Yep. Another thing to watch out for is a lack of transparency. If a company is being shady about its business or its financials, that's a big no-no.
Makes sense. I want to know what I'm actually investing in.
And remember, it's okay to ask questions. If something doesn't make sense, don't be afraid to dig deeper or even walk away.
It's my money. I get to be picky. Okay, red flags, check. But before we move on, I want to touch on something a bit deeper. Buffett isn't just about making money, right?
Oh, yeah. He's big on investing in companies that align with his values.
Like ethical companies doing good stuff.
Exactly. He believes in supporting companies he's proud to be a part of. And, this whole idea of impact investing is becoming huge.
Impact investing.
Yeah. It's about using your investments to support companies that are, sustainable, ethical, making a difference.
Sounds like you're potentially growing your wealth and doing good at the same time. I love that.
It's a win-win. And it can make investing feel way more meaningful.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've talked about index funds, researching companies, riding out those market waves, and even aligning your investments with your values. It's like a whole new world has opened up.
And remember, it doesn't matter if you're starting with $100 or $100,000. It's about that long-term mindset.
Doing your research, trusting your gut, and not being afraid to ask questions.
I got it.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, we'll wrap up this Buffett bonanza with some final thoughts and resources to help you keep learning.
Stay tuned.
All right, we're back. So much great stuff about Warren Buffett's approach to investing, but how do we actually take all this wisdom and, like, make it work for us?
Right, got to turn it into action.
Exactly. Yeah. Where do we even start?
Well, first things first, you got to figure out what you're actually aiming for.
Like, what are our goals?
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are you saving and investing for? A house, retirement, early retirement maybe?
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Right. Or maybe starting your own business someday.
I think having that clear vision is super helpful.
It is. It's like it keeps you motivated when things get tough.
Like when the market's going crazy.
Exactly.
Oh.
Okay, so once you've got that goal in mind, remember Buffett's advice. Start small.
Even if it's just a little bit.
Consistency over time is key. That's where the magic of compounding really kicks in.
Okay, starting small. Got it. But investing still feels kind of, I don't know, active. Like I got to do stuff.
You do. It's not like you just set it and forget it. Buffett's all about putting in the effort.
So research, learning, all that good stuff.
Yep. Don't be afraid to ask questions, read books, listen to podcasts.
Oh, hey, like this one.
Exactly. The more you learn, the more confident you'll become.
And as you get more experience, don't forget to trust your gut.
Oh, that's huge.
Yeah.
You'll start to develop a feel for what's right for you.
Like if something seems too good to be true.
Probably is. Remember, you're in control of your money and your future.
It's actually kind of empowering when you think about it that way.
It is. And honestly, even Warren Buffett started small. He built his empire brick by brick.
So anyone can do it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so key takeaways. Start early, even if it's small. Do your research, pick companies you believe in, And stay focused on the long game.
And never stop learning.
You got it.
Well, this has been amazing. I feel like we've gotten a crash course in Buffett's investing philosophy.
And we've only just scratched the surface. There's so much more to explore.
Definitely. But for now, we hope you feel inspired and a little less intimidated by the world of investing.
Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step.
So take that step today. Start building your financial future, one smart investment at a time.
And who knows, maybe someday you'll be the one sharing your investing wisdom with the world.
That's a great thought. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Warren Buffett's world. We'd love to hear your thoughts and what resonated with you.
Yeah, hit us up in the comments.
Because remember, the deep dive doesn't end here.